see.
take a nap.
And oh
That's
yeah.
all I need, and then I'll be back.
Oh, well, how wonderful! And it is exactly what we saw on the video, and I'm thrilled to be here for it. So,
Inshallah.
yeah,
We're very excited to have you here.
yeah. Thank you, thank
Can
you.
you explain for us in what way the talk is a keynote speech? Is it the first talk of a certain panel?
No, what we call keynote is the style of the presentation, which is going to be alone on stage, and she gets to just like float around, however you're
Yeah,
comfortable.
I got the tune.
You will be the first person to speak. So the way our agenda is broken down, we have different themes, and you will be speaking in the Japanese model theme. So we have like 2 sessions back to back talking about what makes Japan Japan and what makes the Japanese people Japanese. Like, remember when we were talking on the phone and we were saying how people in Japan have like certain way of living, of being, how like people respect one another, they respect everything, they know the value of like having, a clean street, of having a safe environment, a safe community. So that's what we're going to talk about in this session. So first of all, it's you, and your talk is about what is the Japanese model in education.
In education.
That's where the confusion is.
Yeah.
It's not actually the title of the talk.
Okay.
The talk is the diplomacy and the lady samurai.
Okay.
So the theme is diplomacy, not education.
Okay. Can we go through the presentation and you just let me know headlines of what you're going to say?
Yeah, I sent the file Sunday, and I tried to ask the content wise, anything that has to be changed, because like Japanese values and history, like it's like really a big thing.
Yeah.
So I made it to fit
Absolutely.
the for example,
Absolutely.
I can't be speaking something that I'm not sure about.
No, of
And then this
course.
one's like history, and also like
Yeah, but this is the
yeah.
catch. When we say education, we don't mean education in schools or like in a specific setting.
Right.
It's how the values and the culture is being educated,
Right.
so to say. So for example, I learned a lot from my grandmother, and she taught me a lot of values. So I was educated by her, but I wasn't in, because when you say education, a lot of people think it's the school and the teacher just telling the child what to do. So I think the way we were even envisioning your session is for you to talk about how these values were, taken from like generation to generation through, I'm not sure, but in my case it's storytelling. That's how my parents taught me a lot of what I know.
Well, just to be honest, I can't change it anymore. That's the first thing. It's like the dramatic change, like slides and everything's been submitted.
Okay.
So, but one thing that I can change is like an emphasis, and then say, how to say it, and how to frame this.
Okay.
Right. So first of all, I think I prefer to have some sort of introduction of my, background. So if your side or anyone can just say that I've been an educator, and then that makes more sense than just hearing about this talk, right? So like this is like the lecture that she.
But your talk is about your history, right? Like about the culture and how you were raised to like embrace the Japanese values.
No, I didn't use that part at all this time.
Okay, so what did you use?
It's just like history, like Japanese history.
Okay.
And then I introduced like certain time period, and then focusing on the woman's letter, and then just for a few examples that I research on, like it's my original research, and then trying to introduce like something new, which is the Lady Samurai, how they wrote and then how they negotiated, and then those values being succeeded till today.
Okay.
Yeah.
The theme is diplomacy.
Yeah, rather than education.
Can we go
Not
through
so much
the
about heritage.
presentation? I think then I'll get a clearer idea, and then maybe I can just make a nice marriage out of the two.
Okay.
So we're not going to change the presentation. I just want to hear you go through it, if that's okay.
I just think that this is two different things that we are thinking about.
I still feel like it's the same. So when you say like the Lady Samurai and the values and how women were empowered, in a sense, there is something that was learned. You know what I mean? So I still feel like we have a chance at doing this.
And what about her suggestion that we introduce her as an educator?
Yes,
and
of
that will
course.
help to frame the
can someone be
better.
here to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. But can you go through I really want to hear it, if that's okay, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Just have a like brief version of it, if that's okay. Yeah.
Just
Well,
headlines.
the headline, so we can
Like
just
how you
say.
start.
So I totally did not include my introduction.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I was suggesting maybe just 2 minutes, 1 minute.
MC, yeah.
Yeah, MC would help, because of my career in diplomacy and education.
You also have a career in
Yeah,
diplomacy?
I was a
had no
diplomat.
idea.
Yeah. So that's why I
okay.
picked this one and the diplomacy and like where the history of Japan really talks to, So I didn't focus exclusively on education.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as we talk about the spirit of Japan, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, so I think something that we come up with, and then if somebody can introduce me here just for 2 minutes.
Can you
yeah.
just give us like the brief intro
Yeah.
you want us to say?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'll
I'll
just
send
hand
it to
the
you.
MC.
Yeah, to the MC,
Even
and
if
then
you bring it as a just like as a note.
yeah, and
we
that'll
have
be
the MC.
helpful,
Yeah.
right? I think that will be just greatly helpful, and then people will understand like where I've been doing this and
Yeah.
so on, and also
And
yeah.
just now, one man told us that there will be no MC when we arrive tomorrow. Is that
Let
true?
me check.
Because he said we would just begin with her walking on stage when.
Yeah,
notified
she said I
that
just
it was
start.
time.
Yeah,
I
to
can
start.
arrange for an MC.
Please
I know
do.
This wonderful girl in our office who's an incredible MC. This is day 3. Okay. At the point we don't have an MC, but we can arrange for one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Please, please.
definitely. Sure.
So like tonight that we come up with something, and tomorrow morning very early that I
Yeah.
can just send it to you. So
I'm sorry, just one second. I want you to
I
announce
was
you
thinking,
because I could maybe want to like.
well, can she do that? Or?
I flew all this way and I'm very familiar with her
She's
work.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I think that's a good idea.
yeah. It will just make it.
And no one
less,
knows her better than
more
you
simple.
in
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So we can
Right?
talk until the last minute. So then she
Yeah.
introduces me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that.
Absolutely, that's fine. They'll mic you up in the morning,
Okay.
and you can do the introduction. There's going to be some miscommunication between us and you, and it
Yeah,
being
but then
about
like
education.
okay. So there's a thing that I was more focusing on the video part
Okay.
because that will be like saved there and also like can be viewed by many other people.
We can change the title on the video later.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
that, for sure, that I will ask. But at the same time, more than this capacity of people will be watching it.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to be engaging too
Ah.
much.
No, we can cut that part out.
Okay.
Yeah, because they do a lot of like post-production editing.
Right.
So like you'll even notice that some like pieces will be like
Video
from
view.
an angle, and maybe the intro will be like shorter. So there's a lot of post-production editing. Like if you pause or something, they can
Will she be involved in that aspect at the end?
What we usually do is we send the speaker like a version of the video before it goes online,
Yeah.
just for you to like see it and
Yeah.
let us know if you have any
But then that
comments.
means like this like flow will be cut though because your introduction is a part of it.
Okay. That's fine.
Or maybe like it's not necessary for the larger audience.
Yeah.
To, be
To have the
seeing
intro, because we will change the title anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's fine.
Then I can just go with it. And
Yeah.
then for here, like they will understand where I'm coming from. But like over there on the internet, they don't have to know the whole story. And then I get to see like to talk what I want to talk.
Yeah.
But for me personally, a big part